Ever wonder why your dollar seems to buy less today than it did 5 years ago? This is due to a phenomenon known as decreasing purchasing power. Essentially, as inflation rises, each dollar you hold buys a smaller piece of a product or service. It's like a sneaky thief, subtly eroding the value of your money over time. This isn't just an economic curiosity. It's a reality that affects your everyday life. At the heart of this issue is something called inflation. But what is inflation really? It's a general increase in prices and fall in the purchasing power of money. Imagine you're buying a loaf of bread. Today, it might cost you $1. But if inflation increases, that same loaf might cost you $1.10 tomorrow. Your dollar has lost some of its purchasing power. It can't buy the same amount of bread. Now, this might seem like small change, but let's scale it up. Think about the cost of a house, a car, or your monthly bills. If inflation rises, all these costs go up. Yet your salary, your savings, they might not increase at the same rate. That's when you start to feel the pinch. Inflation is often presented as a percentage. When we say inflation is 2%, what we mean is that, on average, prices have increased by 2% over a year. And this isn't just about bread or cars. It's about the whole economy, every product, every service. But where does inflation come from? Well, there are many causes. But one of the main ones is the supply and demand of money. If there's a lot of money in the economy, maybe because the government is printing more, then each individual dollar becomes less valuable. That's called monetary inflation. Then there's demand pull inflation, when demand for goods and services outstrips supply. Think of a hot new gadget. If everyone wants it and there aren't enough to go around, the price goes up. And let's not forget cost push inflation. That's when the cost of production, like wages or raw materials, goes up. If it costs more to make that loaf of bread, the baker is going to pass that cost on to you. Inflation isn't inherently bad. A little bit can stimulate spending and investment. But too much, that's when you get into problems. Your savings lose value. Your paycheck doesn't stretch as far. So as prices rise, the relative value of your dollar falls. But what does this mean for you and your wallet? Let's delve into the practical impacts of decreasing purchasing power. Imagine you've been saving diligently, putting away a portion of your paycheck each month. You've been careful, frugal even, and over the years, you've built a healthy nest egg. But then, you notice something unsettling. The same amount of money that once filled your grocery cart to the brim now barely covers the basics. That's not because groceries have suddenly become a luxury. It's the eroding power of your dollar at play. Every dollar you've saved is now worth less than it was when you first tucked it away. That's the insidious effect of inflation, silently nibbling away at your hard-earned savings. It's like saving water in a leaky bucket. Each drop that evaporates represents the value your money is losing over time. But it's not just about the groceries. The cost of living overall has been steadily climbing. From the rent or mortgage payments, utility bills, to the cost of healthcare, education, and even that cup of coffee you enjoy every morning. Everything costs more. In a nutshell, your money's purchasing power is declining. This decrease in purchasing power doesn't just affect your savings. It plays a significant role in your future financial planning too. Your retirement fund? It might need a serious rethink. Those dreams of a comfortable retirement could very well turn into a nightmare of financial stress if you're not prepared for the impact of inflation. And it's not just about the future. The present takes a hit too. With each passing year, you find your paycheck stretching a bit less, covering fewer of your daily expenses. You find yourself making compromises, foregoing some of the things you enjoy just to make ends meet. In other words, your money has to work harder just to keep up. So, as the value of the dollar shrinks, the impact is felt directly in your wallet. It's a silent crisis, one that creeps up on you, and before you know it, you're caught in its grip. But fear not. Understanding this is the first step towards safeguarding your financial future. So, what can you do to protect your hard-earned money? The first thing to remember is that just sitting on your cash isn't going to cut it anymore. As we've discussed, inflation is continuously eating away at the value of your wealth, and doing nothing is the fastest way to lose it. The key is to be proactive and understand the strategies available to protect your wealth. One of the most effective strategies is diversification. Think of it as not putting all your eggs in one basket. By spreading your investments across a variety of assets, such as stocks, bonds, real estate, and even cryptocurrencies, you reduce the risk associated with any single investment. This way, if one asset class underperforms, others may offset the loss. But diversification is not just about spreading risks. It's about taking advantage of the unique characteristics of different assets. For instance, stocks typically offer high growth potential, while bonds provide steady income. Real estate can give you both income and growth, and it's a tangible asset that you can actually use. Cryptocurrencies, on the other hand, are highly volatile, but can offer astronomical returns. Another strategy is understanding and utilizing inflation hedges. These are investments that tend to increase in value when inflation is high. Gold is a classic example. When the value of the dollar drops, the price of gold often rises, making it a good hedge against inflation. Real estate can also be an inflation hedge, as property values and rents usually rise with inflation. Finally, remember that knowledge is power. Keep educating yourself about the financial world. Understand how markets work, follow economic trends, and stay informed about new investment opportunities. The more you know, the better decisions you can make. Remember, protecting your wealth from the eroding effects of inflation is not a one-time task. It's a continuous process that requires vigilance, knowledge, and action. It's not enough to simply sit on your cash. You need to take active steps to protect your wealth. Understanding the dynamics of purchasing power is key to maintaining and growing your wealth. Remember, as the dollar's purchasing power decreases due to inflation, it can have a significant impact on your personal finances. It's not just about rising prices. It's about the stealthy erosion of savings and the pressure to work harder to maintain your standard of living. But there are strategies for protection. Subscribe to our channel for more insightful financial content and become a more informed, empowered consumer.